It's good.
So someone came into our office the other day and said there was game was getting out of hand, and this is in youth hockey. So I think the kids are 10, 9, 10, 10, 11.
Yeah, 10, 11, yeah.
And it was getting chippy, and there was a fight, and his son went in and, not club the guy, cross-checked the guy a couple of times, and it was like, should I fight him or should I not? And the dad said, what do you think?
Yeah.
Right?
Is it appropriate?
Is it appropriate? Yeah, okay, so I can go into my answer. So it's a loaded question because my answer in youth hockey is there a place for fighting in youth hockey? That was the question. And he goes, oh, I know your kid. Like, I go, no. My kid was not allowed to fight in my youth hockey. That was
and right up to draft year.
Right.
Yeah.
I said that if you fight, I'll be pissed. Not because you got in a fight.
Right.
Because there's absolutely no need for it, in my opinion. Okay. Now I know some parents are going to say, yeah, but and this, that, the other thing. I said, yeah.
Just listen to the full answer first.
Just hang. I said, my answer is there may be an extreme. Like there's extremes in everything, right?
Yeah.
And the extremes are the ones that people talk about.
Right.
Right. So like, if someone came across the ice, two-handed you across the head, started ripping your helmet off and started wailing away at you, sure, son.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do. But for the most part, everything is controllable in youth hockey, period. So my point to that is there's no place for fighting, and I'm not soft, guys. There's no place for fighting in youth hockey. Zero. The bottom line, you're getting kicked out and getting suspended. You have cages on. It's not a thing in youth hockey. At higher levels, it's part of the game. It's the game within the game, and it's a 5-minute penalty. And there's rules for fighting. But in youth hockey, you're not allowed to fight. In international hockey, you're not allowed to fight. You get kicked out. And I could be wrong. I called a ref yesterday, an OHL ref that works for us, and I said, "What's the suspension for fighting in youth hockey?" Well, you throw a punch and you get caught throwing a punch. It's a game. And
even buckets on?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. They can consider that fighting right away.
Okay.
And then the league can determine how long of a suspension it is. And I've seen kids get in one fight and get 5-game suspension. It's a nothing fight. It's not worth it.
Right.
So there's a couple sides to this. Number one, from a parent perspective, right? When I said, Charlie, there is zero fighting in the game, he was fine with it. But from my perspective was, first of all, I need you to control your emotions a little bit. There's other ways that you can do it. Number two, it's costing me a heck of a lot of money, and I don't want.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's probably the more important.
Yeah,
is that if it's costing me $5,000 and you take 5-game suspension or 7 or whatever, I'm not happy. It's not an accident.
Yeah, my dad used to say that to me too.
Yeah, like a hit from behind.
Took a day off work, man.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Yeah, a hit from behind. You can that could be an accident, that could be an accident.
Yeah.
And even Charlie pitchforked this one guy one time. Is that better? No, I'm not saying it's better, but you have to do something. And this is the argument. Well, why don't you just let them fight? Whatever. But he pitchforked a guy and he got a 5-minute or a 4-minute penalty, something like that. Probably should have been suspended for life. This is in his draft year. Is that better? No, but and I'm not careful how I say it, but it's something that you can get away with. You know what I mean?
No, that's the honest answer.
Yeah.
Man.
So like if you and I fight, the refs see it, the fans see it. Like you can't say I didn't fight. No, you're fighting.
Yeah.
If you stick someone, cross-check someone or whatever, I didn't, or not everyone sees it. You can get away with it. So you're not getting suspended.
And just to be clear, you're not telling people to go around sticking people, because I know someone's gonna yell at me in the comments.
If I'm going to be honest, do whatever you need to do.
Okay, but this is what it's about, man. It's about being honest, and it's way easier to do something a little bit chippy that's a little bit cheap, and you'll get away with it, especially in minor hockey, rather than like one thing that used to happen to me. I remember is guys would come hit and they'd pop their knob out a little bit.
I used to back check like that.
Oh, right in the ribs, hurts, man.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna. There's no like serious danger necessarily. Like if something goes catastrophically wrong, you might crack a rib or something. But nothing that's like catastrophically dangerous, and you're not gonna get 2, 3, 5 games for fighting when it doesn't actually matter. It's not a real fight.
No.
That's the thing in minor hockey. You know, it's like if you're gonna drop your gloves, by the time you try to get the cages off, the refs are hopping in. Now you dropped your gloves. Now you get 2 games anyways. It's not even like it was a real fight.
It's not worth it.
And normally it's about
and
nothing.
you might get a shot in the punch a guy in the nose or something.
But most of the time it's nothing though.
Yeah.
Like most of the time there was a scrum in front of the net and it's just a bunch of teenagers that are getting fired up. Yeah. And it's not like it was the extreme that you're talking about where a guy runs a guy and you're like, okay, like somebody needs to deal with this. That's a different situation.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I agree with what you're saying. Like it's just not, there's no point doing it and you're just going to get yourself kicked out of the game, suspended, whatever.
Well, let's look at who does it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably another issue. So this is let's use our head. Okay. So youth hockey, a kid that snaps, like let's say you're 10 years old and snaps and drops his gloves and starts fighting someone, that kid, not saying 100%, but most of the times lacks a lot of control.
Oh yeah.
Like and in fact, I'm not saying you're a bad person, but you probably have some issues outside of hockey.
Yep.
Because at 10 years old or 8 years old, if you're wailing on someone, then that means you just have no control, or you have a bad temper, or you need to get your way and you don't like it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then as you get older, let's just say 13, 14 years around high school, most of the kids that do that are doing it trying to impress their girlfriend, because they're lacking something else, and that's probably the talent and skill to be a good hockey player.
Yep.
Most of the times. So those are the extremes. Like usually the guys that get into the scraps are the guys you don't really necessarily need on your team, or that they're trying to fight, right?
Yeah.
So that's that. And now the other side of it is, no, I want to go into that part after. So, so for mine, it's extreme. Like if you had to actually defend yourself, then that's one thing. Like you had to defend yourself. That's one thing. But to go out and get in a scrap in youth hockey, it's pointless and shows zero control. And in my books, there's no. Go ahead.